Rochelle, the only reason that you're able to talk like that is because you have 911. Listen, Rochelle, you're living in a fantasy world. You're a weakling. You have 911. That's the only thing that lets you talk like that. If you didn't have 911 and you couldn't call the government, a man would have stuck you dead in your mouth and you would have stopped talking like that for the rest of your life. That's the truth. You have to live in reality. That's where I live in reality. I talk like this because I will deliver. I talk like this because I am actually dominant. You're just pretend. You're a fake man. I will treat you with the respect that I afford to all of my guests. And if you've watched my videos, and I know you're going to say that you haven't heard of me, but if you take a look when you get some time, you'll see that my guests come on and they're honorable and honest and straightforward, and I return that to them. This all went left when you started to overtalk, and I asked you to stop talking, and then you felt as though you were being controlled or dominated because you have a sensitivity to that. And I'm not trying to control or dominate you, at least not during this interaction. I'm just trying to have a dialogue because I think that you're someone that people like to see and probably would like to hear from. And I know that we have very different perspectives, and so that there can be a good conversation.
You said that you weren't trying to dominate me, but you just told me earlier that you were below, I was below you, and that you would always, you said something, you know what you said.
That's correct. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm not trying to dominate you, but that just is a fact.
A lot of black women, especially those who are limited in their capacity to be accountable, like to argue, saying a man's tone was the reason they were unreceptive to their input. We just saw an example of a man be calm and measured in his tone, and still she responds being combative. You can't teach old dogs new tricks, gentlemen. Don't save them. They don't want to be saved.
Which one is it? First you said you're not. Just now you said you weren't trying to do that. But earlier you said you were.
That's correct. No, that's incorrect.
So
now you're lying.
Yourself.
Now you're lying.
You
Don't do that.
Yourself.
So I'm going to respond to your claim, which was false. You stated that I said I'm above you. You're correct. I did state that. That is a fact. That's just describing a condition. I am above you. Now,
how?
You said, hold on one second.
How?
Look at me in the windows to my soul. Shut the fuck up.
See, you're interrupting again. This is what I'm talking about. You got to stop talking to learn something. You keep talking.
You're going to have to stop talking to let me teach you something, because I don't think you're teachable. I don't think you're teachable.
That's your problem. You're a woman. You're not equal to a man. You're below a man. You're under a man's leadership. You're under a man's leadership. There's nowhere on earth where women are above men.
You're over a woman.
Every man is over a woman. Just accept it. It's real. Let me tell you something.
No, I'm not going to accept it when I have books.
Looks like we have a woman who believes everything written down in books is factual. Also, why is it that people who are eager to let everyone know they read, the same ones who often make fools of themselves when it's time to be logical?
You know what?
Let me tell you something, Rochelle. Here's the truth of the matter.
I will send you some research.
Rochelle, the only reason that you're able to talk like that is because you have 911. Listen, Rochelle, you're living in a fantasy world. You're a weakling. You have 911. That's the only thing that lets you talk like that. If you didn't have 911 and you couldn't call the government, a man would have slapped you dead in your mouth and you would have stopped talking like that for the rest of your life. That's the truth.
You're goddamn right.
You have to live in reality. That's where I live in reality. I talk like this because I will deliver. I talk like this because I am actually dominant. You're just pretend. You're a fake man. That's what you are. You're a fake man.
We need strong
men. I'm a real man.
Absolutely.
You're a fake man.
Marquett, we need strong men. I'm not denying that. We need
You're trying to be a strong man, baby.
Understand there's other forms of strength that men draw upon from women. And
that's
I'm not
right.
trying to hold one over the other. We have roles to play.
Well, that's the problem, is that you don't want to play your role. There's hierarchy. And the problem is that the black woman, listen, love, there is hierarchy, and you are beneath in the hierarchy, and you have to accept that. That's why you're alone, because you will not accept where you are in the hierarchy.
This is your show.
Listen, you will not accept where you are in the hierarchy, and that's why you're alone.
Please listen to me for this, and then I got to go because I got to get to.
I bet you do have to go. So you're saying that you want to say some words and then skate out? That's what you're saying? You want to say something and then run off?
You let me finish. You're not
Why would we let you
do
that?
My point. You said that there are two levels of reality. Did you know that? Did you know there are two levels of reality? There are two levels. There's a relative level and there's an absolute level. The relative level is the level that always changes. Meaning, you know, like everything here changes, right? Is there anything in this plane of physical existence that doesn't change?
Continue.
Is there anything that you can find in this plane of existence that does not change? Hello?
Notice how, when finally given the chance to make her point, it turns out to be nothing but nonsense. People like this only survive in chaotic back and forths where over-talking hides how empty their arguments are. Let them speak long enough and they'll expose themselves for the dimwits they actually are.
I'm waiting for you to make your point. I'm giving you the respect of letting you speak.
Waiting for an answer. Can
Well,
you
I've
find
noticed
me
every
something in
time
this
I try to
plane of
reply to
material,
you, you
physical
start
existence
talking.
that
So just
change-
please make your
that does
point.
not
I'm being
change?
silent. I'm being silent. Please make your
Okay.
point.
So because nothing in this realm is permanent, right? Everything changes. Little Marquett, baby Marquett becomes teenager Marquett, becomes adult Marquett, right? All things change. All situations change. All circumstances change. All events change, right? That is relative reality. It's relative. It's based on something. It's conditional.
Right.
Absolute truth or absolute reality does not change. Can you tell me something within your experience, not what you read, within your own reflection, within your experience that has not changed?
Would you be kind enough to make your point without me? Because you interrupt me a lot. So I'm listening to you. So please make your point without quarrying me. I would be very thankful.
My point was that
you.
you were saying that there's a hierarchy. And my point directly was that in the plane of relative truth, where things change, you would say there's a hierarchy. In absolute truth, that statement drops out. It is not true because hierarchies change. That was my point.
Listen, come here. Shut your stupid ass up.
Then I asked you.
Okay, so you just said that was my point. You just said that was my point. So you've now made your point.
Okay, well, you haven't been saying anything. Okay, so I made my point.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You just made your point. You just made your point. And I listened to your point. And I tried my best to understand your point. And I'm just going to repeat back in summary, just very briefly, just so that you know I was listening to you. You were mentioning absolute reality. You were mentioning relative. You were saying that things change. You queried me a few times to no avail. And you're suggesting that things may have changed. And that's fine. I appreciate you sharing that. I don't agree with anything that you've said. And what you're expressing is very common among the human female, which is, and this is not a black or white thing. This is common among. You see how you're talking while I'm talking.
You're not trying to grow your knowledge.
Do you see how you're talking while I'm talking? You see how you're talking while I'm talking? Do you see how you're talking while I'm talking?
Absolute reality has nothing
You
to
see
do
how
with
you're
male and
talking
female.
while I'm talking?
You back down into that again.
Okay. So real quick, Rochelle, this is why you have no man. I was silent and I let you talk. I didn't say anything. But then when it's my turn to talk, you start talking. You started off the conversation referencing narcissism, which is the hyper focus on the self. But we see when it's my turn to talk and you, oh, now she runs. You guys see that? When it's her time to talk, it's a great world. When she gets to talk, the world is all good. It's a good world when she gets to talk. But when she has to be silent and listen to the other person, then all of a sudden there's something wrong with the world. Then all of a sudden, that's interesting. That's very interesting. And I want to make this public service announcement. This is not a black or white thing. There are many unruly women. There's an increasingly high number of unruly women. They behave like animals. No one wants them. That is precisely why she says she's celibate and she's independent. When a black woman says she's independent, or even when a white woman says she's independent, it is not a representation of strength. It is using a euphemism to describe their unfortunate state, which is the state of being lonely, the state of being unwanted. You are not independent. You are lonely. You are unwanted. Human beings are social animals. We live in tribes. We need communities. You are a sociopath, and that is your problem. And that goes out to many of you. You heard me? Yes, indeed.
When all else fails, rage quit and go be an idiot elsewhere. Leave your comments below, like and subscribe. See you in the next one.